Okay, let's proceed to survivorship curves. So when we say survivorship curves, it is a demographic tool used to represent the number of individuals surviving at each age for a given species. So we have three types of survivorship curves. The first one is known as the first one is the type 1 or the late loss. The second one or the type 2 is known as the constant loss, and the third one is known as the type 3, which is also known as early loss. So when you say type 1 or the late loss, it is a high survival rates in early and middle life. Mortality increase rapidly in old age, typical of humans and other large mammals. So these are the kind of organism or species na napabilang na long last or matagal mabuhay, such as we as a person, and also mammals like elephants, and one also considered as long high survival rates is yung turtle. Kasi turtle is also considered as the type 1 or high survival rates. So, again, that when we say type 1 or the late loss, ito yung mga living organism or species na matagal mabuhay. And the second one or type 2, it is known as the constant death rate over the lifespan. It is the chance of dying is independent of age, seen in some birds, small mammals, and lizards. So the second one is this kind of species naman is constant or nakadepende sa age ng kanilang survivor. It is dependent of age or nakadepende sa kanilang edad. Again, the example of these are birds, small mammals, and lizards. And the third one is the type C or the early loss. It is a high death rate for the young survivors, have a good chance of living to an old age, common in species that produce many offsprings but provide little care. So one of the example of these are the fish and trees. So although nag-produce sila ng many offspring or offspring or kumaga another type of their kind of species or another type of their same na living organism, which is yung mga tree, di ba? Although nag-produce sila, nag-produce or nag-evolve sa overtime, but yung kanyang survivorship to live is hindi tumatagal, such as fish. Although nag-produce ng many offsprings yung mga fish, but in order for them to have a long life, kailangan nila ng little care. So this kind of living organism is madaling namamaalam or high death rate kasi yung survivorship of life nila is hindi ganun ka-stable to be more productive or maselan kumbaga. Alright, let's proceed to what we call tinatawag nating environmental carrying, or its symbol as K. So when you say environmental carrying capacity or that symbol K, it is the maximum population size that a particular environment can sustain indefinitely without degrading the habitat. So in this part, it should be balanced between the resources, ecosystem, and the population in order to avoid the degradation of the habitat. And also, this is the maximum, which is ito lang yung kaya ng resources na maibibigay para sa mga species. Now, kapag sumobra yung population, is there's a tendency na magiging lack of resources to support the living organism or yung species is that's why nauubuso ang ating ecosystem or nasisira. No, it should be balanced between the resources of our ecosystem and the population in order to avoid the degradation of our ecosystem. So for us to avoid the degradation of our ecosystem, there are the one na we need natin or kailangan natin i-balance, as sabi ko nga kanina, na to avoid the degradation of our habitat and also our ecosystem. Para maging stable yung resources, we need to consider first one is yung food and water availability. So in order for us na para maging stable, dapat yung pag-consume natin ng mga food and water dapat balance lang siya sa ecosystem na hindi siya nasisira, and also sa mga space and shelter and predation and disease, and the last one is environmental challenges. So these are ito yung mga limiting factors na there's a tendency na kapag is kumbaga naaabuso siya or sobrahan yung pag-consume natin, is ito yung dahilan na there's a tendency na masisira, or that's the reason na the degradation of our environmental ecosystem. So, the next one is population growth and K. So, as a population approach its carrying capacity, which is the K, the growth rate usually slows down. So, as what's said by Miss Reporter Miss Panyoso is kapag naabot na niya yung capacity, which is yung K, is doon na nangyayari yung pag-slow down, or yung resources is magiging lack, and magiging yung growth rate is magsa-slow down rin. So ito yung reason why we need to balance in order to sustain, kasi nga kapag umabot na sa carrying capacity, the resources is na mapoproduce is magiging may kakulangan sa resources, and can affect the growth rates, and it slows down, or maraming mamamatay kapag kulang, di ba, ang resources. As we all know, no, kapag we have the lack of resources from our ecosystem, we as a human person rin ang maaapektuhan, kasi nga we have to be dapat yung mga resources na nakukuha natin is stable, and dapat magiging resourceful para sa atin. That's why kapag umabot na siya sa carrying capacity, which is K, is yung rate growth niya is it's slowly down, kasi nga resources is doon lang taman yung kanyang masusustain or masusupport within that population. So there's a lot of global challenges na nararanasan, no, kapag if we as a human person is hindi natin sinunod, or naging lack of understanding tayo, or caring sa ating ecosystem or sa mga resources, is ito yung magiging resulta kapag hindi nagiging balance ang bawat distribution ng ating mga resources within our ecosystem. The first one is overpopulation poses challenges to health and stability. Yes, kapag diba overpopulated tayo, now the resources that we can gain from our environment is not, hindi siya stable, and it can affect our healthy lifestyle. And also, increase demand for food and water. Yes, yung demand ng food, yung sources ng ating food is nagiging kapag overpopulated tayo, nag-increase yung demand. Now, kapag sobrang increase na, nagiging naaabuso si resources, naaabuso si ecosystem. That's why nagkakaroon na problema within that distribution ng mga resources. And also, habitat destruction and biodiversity loss. Yes, kapag sobrang consumption ng mga resources is maaring mawala yung mga habitat and yung mga biodiversity natin na pinapangalagaan in our ecosystem. So that's why we need this tinatawag nating sustainability. It is, when we say sustainability, it is a demographic data is essential for assessing the sustainability of local and global communities. No, in order for us to have a productive and progressive environment, we should know how to protect our ecosystem. So that's why we need to practice and adopt the word sustainability in order to have a sustainable futures generation. And also, in conclusion of my topic, it is understanding demographic data is vital for analyzing natural phenomena and human impact on the biosphere. It is because learning demographic data, it is very important for us as a human being, for us to know what is population, or how population can affect our ecosystem, and also being aware in our surrounding can help us to be more impactful to our environmental stability. That's all, and thank you so much for watching.